Welcome back to BathBrickers. My name is Rich, and in today's video we have got a couple of completing our minifigure collections. So we don't try and collect absolutely everything. Everyone knows this. If you try and collect in Lego, you will go, you become very poor and you'll go mad. There's just so much coming out all the time, it's just not possible. So quite a long time ago, I went through on Bricklink in the catalogue, I went through every single one of the various themes and they've got them beautifully set out there, and it really just helps you to see, first of all, just the sheer variety of minifigures that they've produced in different themes over the years. But it also means that you can have a look and see, okay, which ones of these might I be interested in? But it also helps you look and see, okay, which ones of these might I be interested in collecting and like having the full complete set of. Now, separately, you may know I might have done a video. I don't think I have. I will do one in the future on Monkey Kid. I've been collecting the Monkey Kid minifigures since day one. I think they're fantastic. I think they're very unusual. I love the sets. I love the minifigures, and I'll do something on that another time. But a couple of the other ones that I've looked at, one of them really hits the nostalgia button for me, which is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Now, there's lots of very strange minifigures as part of that, but you've really got to have the absolute core group of TMNT when you go back and think about it back in the 90s. And that's obviously the Turtles themselves, it's Shredder, and it's Splinter. So I have finally managed to complete just that setup. I've been looking for one of those figures in particular for a while, and I've managed to get that. So I'll show you unboxing that and then popping that minifigure into my collection. And then the other one that I thought was really interesting is the Western minifigures. So this was a very popular theme back in the, I think, late 90s, maybe early 2000s. Not a huge number of sets, but some absolute classics, particularly the Rapid Rivers, Fort Legorido, etc., etc. So I have had the pleasure actually over the last few months and years of buying each of those sets generally, making them, taking the minifigures from them and then passing on or selling the rest of the sets, or passing them out for the store, because they've got lots of really interesting pieces, lots of really interesting colours, obviously old brown, light grey, those sorts of things, some of the fantastic stickered parts as well. So I have finally managed to complete my Western collection by, I think I've got 4 or 5 extra figures that I was missing, because if I remember correctly, there's only like 17 minifigures in the Western theme, which felt like quite collectible, and some really cool ones there in terms of the Native Americans and all there's lots of really cool minifigures within that series, the tribe chiefs and so on. So I'm going to open these up now and see what you make of them. Okay, so here we go. These are the 2 parcels that I've got. I'll put the slightly bigger one to one side for now, and here we have one that's just got the one figure in it. So this is the one to do with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So who do we have inside? It's only one, so it's either going to be Splinter or it's going to be Shredder, isn't it? And the one that is in here is in fact Splinter. So this guy is surprisingly hard to get hold of. I think he only came in 2 sets, and although it's possible to part him out and get him all together, it's actually, I found him really hard to get hold of for, a reasonable price as well. So if we just pop him together here like this, really interesting mould. You see that? Fascinating stuff. I think this is new actually. If you look here, it's got that like feel of new, and I don't think it's been handled, so I think I might have got this one new actually. And there he is. I finally got hold of my man Splinter, the mentor of course of Leonardo, Michelangelo, Donatello and Raphael. I'm not going to do the rap, don't worry. There we go. Terrific. Very, very pleased to have him. And so here we go. These are the other ones. So this is from the Western theme. Now, if I look over here, I've got quite a lot of the cavalry folks. I've got quite a few of the Indians and a couple of the kind of cowboys, but I was missing a fair few of these figures, and so I've managed to get a whole load of them here. Oh, and a couple of other bits which I forgot that I was getting. So let's get rid of this and let's see who we have here. So we have got a couple of the Indians. Now, the thing that I always find difficult in these sorts of collecting scenarios is I think I've got this one, but what I don't have them with is with I have one with the quiver, the bow and arrow in the back, but I didn't have the one that was plain. So that's what I needed to do here. There's the other Indian, and then I had this this guy was quite hard to get hold of, the banker. He did come in I think just the one set, so it took me a while to get hold of him, but I've managed to do that. And then these are the final two cowboys that I managed to get hold of. I think this one is called like flat nose curry or something like this, and you'll see that these are old brown and they've got some really wonderful details in the printing. And these ones obviously are the ones that you used to have, like the hair actually printed on the faces, which is quite unusual, and that's a really good way of being able to tell if it's an old minifigure or not. So really pleased. I'm not going to take those all out of the plastic here on screen, out of the polybags, because that would just be too annoying and take too long for you, but it's really good to have these characters on screen. So here they all are out of their bags, and I think I've said this before, but you just look at the detail that you'd get on these, that leg printing, including on the hips there, into the body. That is still in such fantastic condition, even though it's 20 odd years old. Even just something as plain on the banker, and you can see here this is the old dark grey. Even here you can see some of the detail on that torso, the waist jacket, the pocket watch. Really good stuff. So I thought what I would do as well, just while I'm here, is I would show you my minifigure collection. So you can see over here, for example, this is where Splinter is going to go, just there in that space. And then if we go up here, you can see the Western figures that I've got so far. And again, you can see the spaces that those guys are gonna, it's not quite focusing, gonna drop into. Then you can see a few of the other minifigures that I've got here, including, by the way, down here, I've got Vincent van Gogh and a custom Frida Kahlo. And I think at some point in the near future, we're gonna get Leonardo da Vinci. So he's gonna go, just pop himself in there next to the Dark Blue Spaceman. And I think there's also going to be another Spaceman, isn't there, coming out this year? I think maybe, I wouldn't say dark pink, but we've already got that. So can't remember what it's going to be in the gumball machine. There they are now, happily in place. So there is Splinter next to his arch enemy Shredder and his four guys next to him. And then up here, as you can see, we've now got the complete collection of all of the Western figs. And as I mentioned here, this guy, the one that I just got is there in the background because I already had him with the bow and arrow. So just to have the complete set, because they've got different numbers, I needed to have the other guy in the background. So really pleased to have that done. We can close this up. Good to see that complete collection. Hope you enjoyed that, looking at those minifigure collections and themes that I've managed to complete. Took me a while to get them, I have to admit, but really pleased to have those. Now, there was a question in my mind about should I delete those wanted lists that I've had? And I think I'm not going to. I'm going to leave them there, partly just to recognise the time that I took to complete that. And also it's just nice to have a record, isn't it, of all the minifigures that you've got. And you can track, you know, their value over time, but also just keep an eye in case that sneaky Lego group does end up releasing any more minifigures or sets in those themes, which might then lead to minifigures. So hopefully that was great to see. You know, the collecting part of me is really pleased that I've managed to complete those bits, but have been very selective in terms of what I've chosen to go for, because otherwise it's a fool's errand. You can't possibly keep up with it. So I hope this has been interesting to you as part of my journey as a collector. I hope that this means and it can inspire you to carry on with your collecting journey, and that it's possible to actually complete some of these things, and just to know that up here somewhere in my collection, that's complete and all looking nice in the frame, and so on. So really appreciate you spending this time with me, and I will see you again in another video.